Many of us are aware of, or at least familiar with, the effects of stress on various parts of our body, from experiencing headaches, hot and cold waves, to stomach upsets, body aches, and tiredness. But what about the effects of stress on our most precious asset, our brain? The brain influences almost everything, how we think, feel, and move. So it's important to know what happens to the brain when we experience stress. It plays a key role in our well-being, since any effect on the brain has an effect on the body. For this reason, people often say the key to a healthy body is a healthy mind. So, how about a crash course in what happens to the brain under stress and how we can deal with it? Under stress, a physical response is triggered which directly affects the brain in ways that impede our ability to focus or concentrate. It also limits our ability to connect with friends, colleagues, and staff, and weakens our relationships. You might remember from high school biology that brain cells use chemicals called neurotransmitters to communicate. Under stress, a hormone called cortisol is released, which hinders the functioning of neurotransmitters, making it harder for brain cells to talk to each other. This makes it difficult to think clearly, and is the reason why we get confused in a crisis or stressful situation. Furthermore, cortisol causes a chemical reaction in the brain that directly kills brain cells, which is counter to our achieving peak performance. Cortisol also triggers the fight or flight response, which redirects blood glucose or energy away from the brain to our muscles so we can fight or flee. This can save lives if we find ourselves running from danger. But in daily life, when stressed, this response creates an energy crisis in the brain, compromising our ability to learn new things. Fortunately, these effects can be reversed when stress is reduced. Knowing how stress affects the brain, one would think the solution to calming the mind would be a matter of exerting greater mental force. Unfortunately, the mind has a terrible time of telling itself what to do. For example, trying to tell your mind to sleep usually leads to little or no sleep at all. This is because the mind creates even more frustrated thoughts when it realizes that it can't obey its own instructions. Studies conducted at Harvard University showed that attempting to will our minds to do something, like relaxing, just doesn't seem to work. A solution to effectively managing stress and calming the mind can be found in a more tangible tool: breathing. This is because there is a direct link between breathing and emotion. In a recent study, people were shown a series of clips that induced anger, sadness, and happiness. They noticed that each emotion was associated with a distinct breathing pattern. They went even further to show that having people simply breathe in these distinct emotional patterns without any clips induced the same emotions, demonstrating that we can influence our emotions via our breath. Every emotion we experience has a corresponding rhythm in our breath. So, rather than allowing our emotions to change our breath, through breathing, we can transform our emotional state. The Sudarshan Kriya breathing techniques, or SKY, have been shown to significantly reduce levels of the stress hormone cortisol. Numerous published studies have shown SKY to be an effective stress management tool. Published research from Sweden shows that SKY significantly reduces the anxiety and depression we face under the demands of everyday living and increases our optimism and well-being. What's more, other studies have shown that SKY is as effective as standard antidepressive drug therapy, without the side effects and drain on the wallet. In addition to removing the destructive effects of stress on our brains and our bodies, SKY can increase our ability to excel. Meditative techniques have been found to enhance brain functioning, and SKY has been shown in research to increase the brain's production of beta waves, which are responsible for heightened alertness and focus. With each independent research study from hospitals and institutions worldwide, findings indicate that SKY is a potent breathing program that significantly reduces levels of stress and can improve our ability to focus, solve problems, and understand complex issues. Aside from additional physical benefits like lowering blood pressure, boosting the immune function, and relieving anxiety, daily practice enhances well-being and positive emotions like happiness, empathy, and compassion, and can increase connectedness to others. In fact, prolactin, a well-being hormone, is shown to significantly increase from the very first session of SKY practice. And it is well known that emotional well-being is directly related to productivity, concentration, learning ability, and success. With this in mind, the benefits of practicing Sky every day to any organization, team or family are obvious, and results grow over time. In today's world, with almost all of us under increasing pressures on many fronts, we can create a special advantage by engaging in the daily practice of Sky for our mind, body, and everyone around us.